Well guys, I'm currently walking around Clavering Lake, trying not to fall over, it's very muddy. But yeah, I've just arrived here, about 4 o'clock, had a meeting in Colchester. So I went to Colchester this morning, I've had my meeting, got booked on here, and it is an amazing lake to be fair. I'm trying to be quiet because I'm about to bait up on the margin, but I am set up over there. So I've got a new bivvy. I'm going to bait underneath this tree here. I did walk round here earlier and saw 2 carp leave, and I spooked them from underneath here. So what we're going to do is bait bucket in hand, get some crumbed up boilie, throw under there. So just put the bait in. I was using the crunchy nut by Proper Carp Baits, but I thought I'd just show you the lake quickly before I head back to my bivvy. As you can see, it's quite a long lake, fishing from one side only, so there's a lot of different tactics you can use that way, but what it does do is push the fish back to the far margin, so I'd never ignore that, which is why I've gone under that tree, but I saw carp there as well. There is a guy fishing at the bottom, which is a shallower part of the lake. The bailiff said he has seen a few down there. So whether with this warmer weather they're pushed down there, but I'm sure they'll get up here. It's only a few acres in size, so I'm sure they'll travel up and down that far margin. So yeah, let's get back to the bivvy, get some rods out. So we have got rod 1 out underneath that tree that I baited up earlier, and got on the passion fruit for the win, baby. Second rod, there's 2 rod only here. I'm going with a PVA bag. You see there's a mixture of different size pellet in there, mulberry wafter right in the middle, and hopefully that is going to do the do. But I have just had a liner from that one under the tree, so it's definitely carp there. I did see a couple there earlier. We ain't got long now before it gets dark. It's probably about 5 o'clock. As I said, I'm not going to be any much more filming until tomorrow. As I said, I've been to a meeting in Colchester, and then I went and saw Charlie, Mine's Matter Carping. He was at Fens Fishery, so I was only 20 minutes away, so I popped and saw him for half hour and come up here. So we get this rod out, get some tea on, see if we can't have a fish. Well guys, how about that for first thing in the morning? That is an absolute brute of a fish. 32 pound on the nose. I don't think there's many 30s in here, so for a first trip here to have one of the A team, I'm over the moon. That was on the left hand rod. I saw a fish jump in peg 2, so I put a PVA bag on it, cast over to it, and that was the result. Brute. Let's show you the other side. There we go, there's the other side. Lovely, lovely colours on this one. Mouth is absolutely mega, pristine condition. Lovely, scaly carp. Let's get her back. Oh, it's been a little while since that fish, and I haven't managed to get any filming done because it has been so foggy you could not even see what's in front of you, let alone film. It was the same last time when I had the fish. That was a screaming run. I come out of the bivvy, head torch on, and it was just white. It made it worse just having the torch on, to be fair. So trying to land it was an absolute nightmare. But I'm now redoing the rods. It's about 11 o'clock. So I thought I'd just show you what I'm using. And I had the fish on a PVA bag with a Proper Carp Baits mulberry wafter on. As I said, this couldn't be simpler. Using PVA bag. And go with a fast melt, it's just not really that deep out there, so it makes no odds, to be fair. One thing I do like about these atomic tackles, pull it out of the packet, bang, open. We all know the struggle with other companies where they're all stuck together and you're trying to pull them apart and all the rest of it. These are absolutely bang on. And here I've just got a mixture of pellet, proper carp baits pellet, all different sizes in there. What I tend to do, just put my lead in like that first, leave the hook out till last, fill the bag up. Like so, fill it up like that. I don't know if that camera was following me then. And I'll just push this down, push the pop up, so the hook and everything is at the front of the bag. Like that, get the pellets down there. I reckon we could stick a little bit more in there. That is following me. Good little camera that. And then I'm just compressing it down. Like that. Such an easy way to fish this, to be fair. Just twisting, make sure it's nice and tight. And then lick. As you go around. Like that. Just hold it a few seconds. And she's done. And just do your corners. Tap them down. Pull them out. Make it a bit more aerodynamic. Give that a good old lick. Nearly there. I mean, you've probably seen this 100 times. Like that. And that is a nice parcel of food. So, I stab that. That's one thing to always do. Stab your bags. Just ensures that they sink to the bottom and don't float. So I'm going to do that. Get this one out on the spot. Right, that's rods out on the money. I'll show you where I am fishing. I had one under here last night. I did see a fish there, but the one I had was in this corner. I actually see one show at these rushes and another one show a bit further down, and then a little common show. And I move that left hand rod over there on the PVA bag. I have to switch the right hand rod underneath there onto the PVA bag as well, because I think we all get carried away when there's a bit of sun. Start thinking, yeah, the carp are well up for it, let's put some bait in. But I baited underneath that tree and it hasn't worked, and left hand rod was just that PVA bag, so maybe they do just want that little pocket of food. And I thought I saw a fish then. But yeah, no, I was saying, yeah, PVA bag on the left hand rod. Maybe that little trap of just a little mouthful of food is better right now because the water is still freezing. But I might go around and just sprinkle a couple of boilies, or catapult a couple of boilies over underneath that tree, because I do like to fish like that, where the fish come in, picking up, moving, picking up. I think it gives them more confidence. But we'll see. I even treated myself to a new bivvy. Bosch Titan Hide Camo Pro is a beast. Did love the Pioneer, but it was just too big. Takes too long to set up. Right guys, I have absolutely let the time run away. I've had a friend come down to the lake, come see me, who was part of a team I was on, and we got to know each other, but we never met each other, so we had a little bit of a social. So obviously there's no filming been done, although it looks pretty much daylight on this camera. It is near enough dark. I don't know why it's like that, but I have redone the rods. I have seen a fish, so I've moved the left hand rod to, there's like a little bridge you cross here. It's where the other lake behind it used to be joined to this lake, and he's filled it in. There's a fish in there, so I've obviously put a rod there. I've got the one out here where I caught the fish. I'll obviously keep to that spot. And that is that so far. Both of them straight back out, PVA bags. Not going to change that either. That's worked. Baiting under the tree hasn't worked. The owner did say they didn't really like a lot of bait in here, and I thought I'd just fish how I normally fish, and clearly he was right and I was wrong. But so we'll leave that spot for now. I am due to be off in the morning, but I might possibly be able to stay. We'll see how it goes through the night. I am confident, as I've seen that fish there, and obviously I've had a fish off the other spot that I've stuck to. So I'm just going to put some food on, and I'll run you through the bait and stuff probably in the morning. Well guys, morning. Nothing through the night, but I have had an occurrence on that left arm rod over there, and I have just seen a fish show right in the middle. So I think what I'm going to do is get the right hand rod, which is over to the far margin, put a fresh PVA bag on there, out into the middle, see if we can have another fish before we go, as I am due off today. I can stay, but I got too many things to do, mate. So yeah, I'm going to get this rod in quickly, stick a PVA bag on it, get that in the middle. Right guys, I have just put that rod out to that showing fish, PVA bag, and I thought I'd just show you the advantages of using fast melt. Now the lake is not deep, so I've not got to worry about using a normal bag and it actually getting to the bottom. The benefit is when I see a showing fish like that and I'm using a fast melt, I don't want a normal PVA bag on there and have to wait time for it to all dissolve and my bait to be there. So I've got one here that I've made up. I'll pop it in so you can see yourself. Will you be able to see here? I'll throw it here. So that's now sinking to the bottom. And just like that, that's already dissolved. Bang. Literally, oh, my little ugly mug on there. Yeah, so that is the benefit of using the fast melt on a shallower lake, is that seconds, your hook bait is there, everything's dissolved. If the fish comes over it, you're catching it. Well, I'm just going to reel this rod in and recast. It's always the way when you move your rods, they start showing where you've just moved it from. Get a PVA bag on this, sling it back over. There we go, PVA bag done. Let's get it out to where them showing fish are. I am slowly packing up now, so I'm hoping there's a few showing out here that we can have another one. That was a casting off. I ain't even gonna lie, mate. So guys, rods are back out. I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to tell you a bit more about Clavering Lakes. And it's an absolute lovely day now. I'm sure you can see that. It's been horrible while we've been here. But you've got several different lakes on this complex. You can book through the gocatch app, or if you're local, I think you can turn up and speak to the bailiff. But the carp lake I'm on is your main specimen carp lake. You have then got one next door over here, which is more of, I'll say, like a runs water, but there is decent fish in there, up to the high £20 mark. And then past that lake on the other side, you have then got a predator lake with catfish up to, I think it's the £90 mark. There's a few big carp in there as well. And then you've got a big cabin thing at the top there, which I think used to be a calf. It's not a calf anymore, but it's got proper toilets there, which is always a bonus because you don't all like using a portaloo. But yeah, all in all, it's a very good lake, very good complex, well looked after. All the swims are barked. It's just a lovely place to be, surrounded by fields. Have a look. Obviously the guys who own this are farmers themselves, do a bit of fishing. The dad actually dug all these lakes out many years ago, and I'm sure he said the one over there was a trout lake. I think as the years have gone on, they've turned them all into carp fisheries, which is absolutely brilliant. So there's a little bit of history behind the lake, and there's a few good fish in here. As you've seen, I've had one of the 30s on my first trip, so if that's anything to go by, I would say the average fish has got to be pretty good in here if my first fish is a 30. But yeah, I'm going to have a look round. I'm probably going to bait up. I have moved my rod off of that bridge over there, but I'm probably going to bait it up again because I did see fish showing out here. I have had liners where that rod was near the bridge, but there was one showing in the middle here and one showing out towards the tree there where I was fishing, and I moved my rod off of that one to put down near the bridge just because I'd seen a fish near the bridge. As I walked over it swam off, so that's why I put it there. But the rods are on the dance floor. We ain't got long before we leave. Let's see what happens. Well guys, that's my time done at Clavering Fishery, and I can honestly say it was an epic little trip. Love the lakes. I'll definitely be back to fish it. The owners are really nice. The fish are really nice. I think he's got some fish. I can't remember the name of the lake I used to follow. He's got some fish from there in here, and they're absolute tanks. So I'll definitely be back. And if you want to get on here, don't forget you can use the gocatch app to book on and enjoy your stay.